Why, hello, everyone. It's the people from Nexus at Night. It's Atlas.
I'm Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
And because DuelLogs did another video where he's responding to Vanguard cards, we had to do it, right?
It's free content.
It's free content.
It's just the YouTuber thing of reacting to other people reacting to cards.
That's right. And then somebody can react to us and you just chase it down.
I mean, the best thing would be for DuelLogs to do it, and then we do it to him, and then it just continues until the heat death of the universe. Yeah.
But clearly,
like the Donkey reacting to somebody reacting to Donkey.
But clearly, we should get someone like Different Fight to react to our reaction of DuelLogs' reaction.
Nobody has time for this.
I know, right?
Yeah. And then, of course, Matt, you weren't here the first time, so...
oh, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Curious to see how you feel, because you're going in blind on this, right?
That's true. I don't know anything.
All right.
Alrighty, let's start the video.
So the current idea behind the stream is I hand-picked like 36 cards, but each one of them only has like a few lines of text at most. So each one...
yeah, so we're not going to randomly show him Gize again.
And every so often we're going to have a punishment to whether DuelLogs gets enough right or wrong.
But can you players read?
I wasn't here for the actual stream. I just watched the little like video he had at the end of this video.
Yeah.
What was the punishment?
He had to play DDDs in Master Duel.
Oh.
Well, that deck's sweet.
I was thinking, like, I've been watching a lot of Impractical Jokers lately because of my girlfriend. She's a fan. So I thought it was going to be, like, something crazy. Like, he was going to have to, I don't know, go to a cannonball contest and do belly flops like Joe did that one time.
Nah, it was just, like, dumb streaming challenges and things like that. So, I think he already did the thing where he was playing DDDs on stream with his little spider avatar.
Okay.
Yeah, so 3 rounds of 12. Okay, so, first up, let's go over what we have here. This girl called the Skull Witch Nemian. She's a great one. And, wait, do all cards have shield on them, or is it just special ones?
Nope, all cards with 3s have shield on them.
Oh, everything but grade 3s?
Pretty much.
Okay, and
except
also,
for Heal Guardians now.
0, every time the Vanguard was attacked, it gained 5,000 attack. Is that a rule?
No, that's a 0 thing, just to prevent you from getting like snowballed out of the game.
Okay. Tier 1, let's go over its effect. It's a activatable effect. It can be used from the rear guard. Continuous. Is that what that says?
Cost.
Oh,
cost. It cost. It just says cost right there.
Okay, so the cost is just to set this unit sideways.
Isn't it nice
is
when
there,
your
like,
cards are formatted sensically?
Oh, instead of like what Yu-Gi-Oh's got going on?
Yeah, where it's just like a continuous paragraph of text with no line breaks.
Whoa, there's semicolons.
Yeah, or like lately they've been doing like you can only use this unit's like 1 effect or 2 effect.
Only in Japanese. They don't do it in English.
They don't?
Nope. Every card is still block paragraph of text.
Oh my god. It's like in English class growing up in school where it'd be like, this is a run-on sentence, and you're like, but I gotta get the information out. And they're like, yeah, but it sounds like crap. Change it.
Make a new sentence. Easy.
Yeah. Or do math.
Imagine it's called tapping.
In Vanguard, it's called rest.
Okay, so you rest the unit. Search your deck for up to 1 5,000 card. Call it to an open rear guard and shuffle your deck. This ability may be used by a card with the same card name once a turn. So is that like
should
a
be
hard
familiar
once per
to a
turn in
Yu-Gi-Oh
Vanguard
player.
terms?
Yes, this is
Yes,
a hard once per turn.
Okay. So instead of this card providing a boost or attacking, you can search out a card from your deck that has 5,000 attack.
Exactly, 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000 exactly. That seems really good. This is a good card.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, this card's fucking ridiculous. So this card, so on release it was like pretty strong, but then it just kept getting better because they kept expanding the 5,000 power toolbox.
I just love the idea of, is that your final answer? And he's like, yeah, I think it's good. It's ridiculous! Oh my god!
I mean, this card when it first came out was...
It was already really good when it came out, and then it just kept getting better.
Well, even if Shadow Paladins was like pretty whatever on the set, like you read this card and you're like, this card's gonna be insane at one point.
Yeah.
And you just know it in your gut.
And it
It's
doesn't
like-
even rest the thing that it calls, so you can just search out another copy of itself.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, that's why they did the hard ones per turn, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just calling out 5 cards?
Okay, call 4, call a third thing, blow it all up.
This card's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, because it's one of those things where, like, you know that they're going to keep making 5,000 power cards.
Anyone who plays any card game reads summon card from your deck and is like, okay, this card's ridiculous.
Yeah, with like no real restriction on it.
Like obviously they're not familiar with like all the cards that you can get from it, but even if it gets itself, this card's good.
Yeah. And then they printed Bende.
Yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
And then finally, this card peaked at like $130 each for like a tier 0 deck.
Did it?
It's because of the art, right?
No.
No, it's just because it's a Shadow Paladin card. They're all this ridiculous. But also, Luard was genuinely tier 0 for like the 2 weeks where you could use it with Namain.
No, you were. I mean, it's a tier 0 deck, and it was like also like future proofed, so like it's just always good.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah, I can't
5,000 attack.
imagine.
Like that's too generic. I mean, it is
Yeah.
specifically for 5,000.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like
Yeah.
how machine duplication works on 500 or less machines, so they have to
Yeah.
print machines with more than 500 attack, otherwise they're broken because of that one piece of support.
Yeah, and they keep printing good 5,000 power cards. Like there's this one that's like, oh hey, when this card is summoned, you pay a cost, draw a card, and it's 5,000 power, specifically meant to combo with this.
Easy peasy. Plus
Easy one.
1.
All right,
Hey.
don't help him on these because I
Okay.
want to see him. I want to see him squirm.
Well, I ignore chat whenever I'm reading these.
Fair enough.
So, Commander Laurel, another grade 1. Auto from the Rearguard. Choose 4 of your Dimension Police Rearguards and rest them. When your Dimension Police Vanguard attacks, you may pay the cost, and if you do, choose one of your Vanguards and upturn it.
And
So he misread that to just be on attack. Imagine how crazy.
God.
God,
God.
that would be sick.
I
think
know.
he
That card.
I think he
Print-
self-corrects, but like, dude.
Print that card. I assume he will be informed that it's on hit.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Or like he'll go back and correct himself.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Stand it. Okay, this one is difficult because upstanding your Vanguard seems like a good thing because they're the ones who have the drive check, so you get to draw more cards if they get to attack again.
That's correct.
And you do
Good
put
job.
4 of your dudes face down, but you can still have the guy who's boosting your Vanguard up.
just a reminder that this also has to hit, so it doesn't even do anything if your Vanguard gets blocked. This doesn't even do anything.
But you don't have to pay the
4 of
cost
them for just a second attack on your Vanguard. Man, that can go either way. That could be bad or good. That's a super high cost, though, for just a second attack. But your Vanguard attacking again is a good thing. Okay, well... I'm gonna say probably the cost is too high. It's probably not very good.
This card is
So, in one universe, he is right? But unfortunately, like, so prior to Daikaiser, the TD, this card was unplayable garbage. Like, people played this card as a joke. Like,
It sure
It
did
was-
get an anime moment.
but as we get more powerful Vanguards, as we get more drive checks on Vanguard, this card just gets better and better, right?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
Vanguard can do like 8 drive checks. Let me just restand that.
This card is still restricted in premium, by the way.
I know, right?
Just throwing it out there.
Wait. So, well, the way that was taken advantage of was you attack a rear guard, just because your opponent would be less inclined to like.
No, not even that. The GPGs that unflip damage couldn't defend regards.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Yeah.
about that early G era.
So people just slammed those, right?
Yep.
And he was
Yeah.
just like, attack your rear guard, and you're like, do you want to drop like 4 cards blocking this? And they're like, no. And they're like, cool, I'm gonna draw like a billion cards next. But I think a lot of people who are kind of aware of that weren't even bother playing the GPGs.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of decks didn't need to anyway. So
limited at 1. Because holy hell, this effect is good.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing, you can just... It doesn't
I
cost
said it
any...
could go either way.
That's fair. It doesn't cost any hard resources, and in Vanguard, especially Dimension Blaze, your numbers can hit fucking stupid for like the whole turn. Like you can have like a dude that swings for like 69,000 and 6 criticals, and if that hits, well, I mean, if your opponent's dead, but even if it only has like 1 or 2, you still just get the drive checks if it hits. Because remember, if a grade 3 hits, you have 3 checks, and then there are some cards that give your cards more checks, and then there's also just ways to plus specifically to combo with this card, where you just call a bunch of like low-powered idiots. This is one of the first cards that they had to put on the limited list when they updated the rules in like 2017, 2018.
And then they forgot about it.
Didn't this card also get preemptively banned when the Dai Kaiser came out?
Yeah, in Japan, no, in before G era, Japan banned this card.
Yeah, because they thought Stride would be really broken. And then
I mean, they were right.
Yeah, they were right. But I think even at the time we had like Metal Borgs, which had a guard restrict.
Yeah, one of the guys in the chat on the side was like, it started getting good around metal boards.
Yep.
I think it was good. It was expensive before then.
Yeah.
It was expensive when the Dai Kaiser T came out.
Mm-hmm. Because
that
it
was
was
when the
good
card
with
was
Dai
like,
Kaiser.
Yeah, that's when the card like first got valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, whatever, right?
Yeah, and then it just kept getting stronger and stronger, and they finally banned it.
People just wanted to play that crazy diamond deck that won a tournament in Japan at one point. That was just like a billion grade 3s. You played the Enigma engine to always guarantee the ride line, or not guarantee, but if you drew the grade 1, you had the ride line, and you would just slam things on the table and have like a billion grade 3s in your deck.
Yep.
And then Dai Kaiser was like, yeah, so checking grade 3s is a good thing, and you're dead. Cool.
Yeah, you just ride Enigma Storm on Dai Kaiser, and you have like 3 crit. And Laurel. Call triggers, no big
Because
deal.
they knew it was going to be powerful with the most recent support.
You have to put down 4 cards? Okay,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You could just call them and, like, you can still use their effects.
Okay, so Rearguard or Vanguard.
God,
you can rest
OG
this unit.
Yellow
If you have
Bolt.
Darker Regulars Vanguard.
Why did he skip
You
to
can,
Yellow Bolt?
what is that one?
Probably
Soul
just
Charge
cutting
one.
out a lot of like
Soul Charge
irrelevant
one of the-
conversation from the
Your damage
stream.
things face down.
No, that puts one of your cards in the deck into the under the Vanguard. This is like this is the pre-PSCT symbol.
Puts 1 card in your deck under the Vanguard?
Yeah, kind of like remember the Xyz materials, the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
this
didn't know there was cards that did that added them. I thought they all just kind of removed.
No, there are cards that go
Okay.
both.
So it can be used in the Rearguard too. You just put it down. You get to
Vanguard
add an
or
extra
Rearguard.
material from your deck.
Was there a thing with if you rode Yellow Bolt, like turn 1, you could just get a soul
Yeah, you
charge
could
off
still do
it?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it says Vanguard Rearguard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people did that with the things that were like rest this, drop, draw, like Gojo and whatnot. We do this all the time.
And then like what was the other thing?
It happened like 8 billion times in the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still do it now with prison
For-
deck.
Yeah.
You like search out your prison, rest your Vanguard if you're going first.
Yeah, or there's also like Hawam, or like
Yeah, they rode that. Aichi would ride that sword lady, right? And then like rest, drop, draw.
Lien, right? Lake Main Lien? I don't know.
Sure.
I can't remember.
I did. You are losing a card on. I mean,
He's grade 1. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So, depending on how valuable attaching more cards to your Vanguard is, this is potentially really good. And it's a grade 1. So you can play this like immediately and start filling them up. So like every
Right.
turn you can just rest them and then get another one. This
That
seems
is
good.
true. Yeah, this card's pretty good. It wasn't good initially, but it got better with time.
Because it probably have
the
better
fact
effects to detach, right?
and also just it was free.
It was free?
Because resting this card, you could just spam a bunch of these on the field, and then that's
Oh,
just
yeah.
free soul.
Have a back row full of them.
Yeah. Although, I don't know if she gets to this later, but didn't really explain that the whole gimmick of this clan is just building up more and more soul and just sitting on it to be really big.
Did he ever review any of the cards that we send him from our Twitter?
I don't
He
think
goes,
so.
like,
I mean,
Damn.
this
Oh, well.
particular stream was like Momiji picked out cards for him so he didn't get overloaded with a bunch of random garbage.
Well, yeah,
Fair enough.
Gize. or like all Bermuda units, all that good stuff.
Okay. Either
It's
way,
not
it's a
power
point
crept.
for me.
This is not power crept at all.
Wow, this is the least amount of text I've seen on a grade 3 so
God.
far. Okay, so grade 3, Angelic Wise Man. Auto, Rearguard, or Vanguard. You can... Is that
The
like
last-
detached 3?
Yeah, basically yes.
Whoa, that's a lot.
I sometimes
unit
forget
attacks,
just how
if you have a
unreadable
Genesis
the old
Vanguard, you may
symbols
pay the-
were.
I mean, I can kind of see it visually where that's
This
your
one-
Vanguard, there's the arrow coming out of it,
Yeah.
and then 3. Like,
This one's such a bait.
Yeah, I know. It is.
and
I feel like he's gonna get owned.
if he part of it is like she kind of admonishes him for not knowing about a different card.
Yeah, there's a
Even
lot of
though-
context stuff here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's like, surprise! I didn't tell you about this other thing that makes this thing really good. You're like, okay, thanks, I guess.
Yeah. Although this is making me want to do some like history of Vanguard videos where we go over all this broken bullshit.
I'm listening. Later, we'll talk about it later. Comments, sound off. What do you think?
The cost. And if you do, this card gets plus 4,000 attack until the end of the battle.
That sure is an effect.
That's
This
it.
card's garbage, isn't it?
There you go, answer.
Yeah.
No, this card's fucking amazing.
It's
mean-
4,000 for
Okay.
detached.
It's not amazing. Taro
Yeah,
is amazing.
Like context is important. This card isn't amazing on its own.
Well, no, this card, it does matter that this card's
yeah,
not
it
once per
does
turn.
matter that this card is not once per turn, although now we have Gleipnir, so Wiseman himself is irrelevant. But
Oh, Gleipnir.
It's-
You know.
Okay, so here's an easy one. So what this card does, it's not so much the power gain, it's the fact that it detaches it Soul Blast in the battle phase. So there's a card in Vanguard that when you use Soul Blast, when it comes from the soul to the drop zone, you can untap a Rearguard, stand it in the middle of the battle phase.
Oh my god.
So when you basically establish a loop where you detach the two cards, you have this card stand up, and then you put them back into the deck, and then you put them back into your soul again.
This
you
card on
created
its
it-
own
you-
is bad, though, right?
No, correct. But this card, in combo with other cards, is hilariously broken. Because you would just keep attacking forever until your opponent ran out of shield and just died.
I hope he
Um,
didn't get punished for
okay.
that.
So it's kind of like Cannon Soul.
well, this is like overall score, so I think this particular batch he did not fail it.
If you look at
I
his
think it
effect
was
by
the next
himself,
batch where he got
garbage
the
card.
punishment to play
However,
DDDs.
Yeah.
he's used in ridiculous combos. Okay.
Good card.
Next up, we have... oh, I should have made a scoreboard for getting wrong answers. Okay, so we have another grade 1, Calamity Tower Wyvern. Auto, detach 2. What's detach in Vanguard called?
Soul Blast.
So you Soul Blast 2. When this unit is placed in the rear guard, if you have a Kagero Vanguard, you may pay the cost, and if you do, draw a card. When this card is placed in the rear guard, if you...
God, just a relic of that time where you could put cards with other clans.
What's crazy about these
That's
5K Soul Blast 2 draw card
Mhm.
is they were like their power, like their how good they were was wildly different based on the clan you were in.
I know,
yeah,
right?
like depending on
They
the
also-
soul usage and
Yeah. And also they like along with a lot of the other cards on this list, honestly, they just kept like randomly becoming relevant because even going into G era, sometimes your deck just can't draw cards and you have to jam these things in.
I mean, these things are just pretty good generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a specific van.
or like the soul like the lucky clans that got Soul Blast 2 on Flip 2 would like always use those.
Oh yeah. The jellyfish and the aqua force.
Jellyfish and Aqua Force, the snake thing in Tachikaze that took forever to come over. Remember that, Matt?
You may
Oh, yeah.
Soul Blast 2 to draw a card. That
It's not
seems like...
It's not that specific. So it's if it's any card from the Kagero clan. So you see underneath the Wyvern part of
Yeah,
its name,
yeah.
there's that red text.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
just
didn't think it
as
was
long
a
as you're playing
specific.
in a Kagero deck.
I didn't think it would be too hard to activate. I'm just thinking about, like, is that cost worth it? Because the last guy was Soul Blast 3 for garbage effect. This is Soul Blast 2 for a decent effect. But that's still a lot to detach. So I'm gonna say you did say there was like a loops with that, but that was during the damage step. And this one would have to be like, is there like rulings for can this card be counted as being placed during the battle phase if it's like set through another card effect?
Yes.
You're damn right it can.
Yeah, Vanguard has never been that specific about these kinds of things. Just like, was it placed? Yes or no?
Yeah, well, because there was the whole thing about like put, move, play, like all
Yeah.
that stuff. But that's mostly about the guard circle. That
And
usually
every now
comes
and
up.
then, like, unlocking. Because
that's right.
Link Joker is makes rulings very fun.
Oh god, you're killing me.
That is something you can do.
Okay. So I guess this could also be used with loops too. I'm gonna say this card is probably bad.
This card. So I wanna point out for cards, I'm pretty much choosing them at like the points of their relevance. So Calamity Tower Wyvern is in a similar effect, though I've seen some Let's play it now. This card was very good on its like for a long time. So what you would do is, you know the Legion mechanic you mentioned?
Uh-huh.
So basically, what
I completely forgot about Legion.
Yeah, that was a thing.
I think that's all that needs to be said about that.
you would do is you would ride over your Vanguard and Legion, and then you use this to get rid of them out of your soul. Then you draw a card, and then you put them back into your deck, and you basically establish somewhat of a resource loop. So this card was actually used for quite some time, and even like before that, it was just good because Kagero doesn't care for their soul, like at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just free card draw then.
Yeah, it was free. It would refund resources. Like the Soul Blast was also important. The act of Soul Blasting did technically act as like shuffling back resources, just because of how the deck played.
Okay. All right. So that's a wrong one. Let's go into the next
Yep.
one then. Next up, we have Blackwing Swordbreaker, another grade 1. I like grade 1s because they have simple text.
Yeah, I mean I chose cards with some text.
Soul Blast 1. When this card is placed on the rear guard from your deck, if you have a Shadow Paladin Vanguard, you may pay the cost, and if you do, draw a card. Oh, this is good. If you special summon this card from the deck, just detach 1 to draw a card. Okay, this is a good card.
Yeah, this card was really good for its time.
I think to any Yu-Gi-Oh player, if they see draw a card, they're like,
Yeah. Although he got it wrong on the last one. That one also said draw a card.
True.
But I think he was looking too hard at the cost.
it was, I think.
Yeah. But this one is cheaper. And also just randomly like $20, $30.
It also
because-
implies that you can special summon it from your deck pretty easily.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it
Shadow
was-
Paladin, you can.
Like, when I started this game, like, I started alongside a lot of other former Yu-Gi-Oh players, and I fell into this trap, too, of in my head, I was like, hand advantage means you should win, right? And, like, that's not always
No.
the case. And getting over that is one of the, like, hurdles that I think Yu-Gi-Oh players specifically.
Card advantage is one aspect.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also just being able to make like 8 attacks in a turn is always good.
I think this card peaked at like
Oh, hey,
$20
Garnet.
a copy.
$20?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too expensive.
I mean, yeah, it was basically a +2 because you'd summon this card from
Yu-Gi-Oh
deck and then
players.
you just
Yeah.
draw a card.
Drop. It's no
It
forbidden
was
drop.
so
one.
good. Like even the anime was using it for like 4 years.
Yeah, this card randomly became relevant again because of Luard. Especially because Luard could call this much easier than, I think, older Shadow Paladin decks.
Well, because you would, like, what was it, Claret Sword you could call our grade 1, and it was like, that wasn't worth it compared to calling 2, where you could have this plus another thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then eventually the whole mechanic was like, how many grade 1s can we jam into the deck?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like
Oh,
the
you said the
anime-
anime actually like uses competitive cards, right?
Yeah, they do. Like even the anime is like, yeah, I'm just gonna use like 3 of these in one turn.
Next up, we have Reef Banshee.
Oh my
no.
god,
Continuous
Quintet
Sentinel. You may
Walls.
only control up to 4 cards with Continuous Sentinel in a deck. Really? What is
Yeah,
Sentinel?
so Sentinel is just a way of saying, oh hey, you can only have 4 of these cards in your deck.
Okay. Auto, this is not Soul Blast.
Counterblast.
Counterblast, right?
Correct. So it's 1
Okay.
damage.
Okay, Counterblast 1. When this card is placed on the
Guardian Circle. So when you guard with this card,
Guardians. Oh, okay. From the Guardian Circle. Whoa, what is
it has
that?
0 shield.
Oh, okay. Let me just continue reading this. When this card is placed on the Guardian from your hand, you may pay the cost. And if you do, all 5 cards on top of your deck to Guardian at tap. You have to tap cards in the Guardian Circle?
I'm as confused as you are on that. Like,
This was such odd wording back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. The calling stuff to guard circle at rest. What are you going to do from the guard circle if you're standing?
I mean, it just they want you to face the shield to your opponent, but like,
Yeah.
Oh.
I think people would figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, maybe not actually.
Hey, you know what? Card game players and reading.
Doesn't matter. It's a. I don't know why they chose to be like
Quintet
yeah.
walls, though.
It's like searching. It's like when you're searching Necroz's trap cards. It's like completely pointless.
Okay. So, when this card is placed in the guard from your hand, you may pay the cost, which is a Counterblast 1, and if you do, call 5 cards at the top of your deck to the G. So you get 5 cards from the top of your deck into the Guardian Circle. Is that why it has 0?
Yes,
Because it just
that is why.
grants a whole bunch of support. It costs a Counterblast, though.
It is
So
completely
this is
random.
like I will give some context. So this is like meant to like be an alternative towards the perfect guards that have to discard a card from their hand to stop the attack. So this one you don't lose hit advantage, but instead you use a counterblast.
Hmm.
So that,
Okay, I get you.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
because it
intention
has to
behind
be. Wait, where does it use the effect from? Oh no, when it's
Uh,
placed in the.
It's like Guardian.
So it has to place itself there anyway, so you still lose a card either way.
Well, yeah, but instead of having to place a card from the hand of the guardian and then discarding a card on top of it.
Oh.
So this is a -1 from here, and the others were -2.
Gotcha. I didn't know that they literally had a -2.
It's a
Okay,
-2
so
to
it's supposed
attack.
to simulate the effects of it. It also gets rid of a whole bunch of cards at the top of your deck. Gotcha. So, I'm going to say that Counterblast 1 requirement, though, seems kind of steep. This is either good or way overcosted. I'll just say this is probably a decent card.
So decent.
Yeah.
So Reef Banshee specifically is probably one of the better ones.
Uh-huh.
However, no, these are not good. And it's
Aw.
not because they count as one. It's because the random 5 cards at your top of your deck might not even have enough shield.
Oh, yeah. 4 grade
There's the
3s
rub.
and a grade 2.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Everyone who has played a quintet wall for even as like a joke, even as like an experimental purpose, has ran into this.
I think
Every
also,
single person, or else you just didn't play enough games.
I think in the case of quintet walls in general, like their main reason for being invented was to help Legion, right?
Yes.
Like you were supposed to load up your drop zone.
Yeah,
and
I
then-
think they came out at Legion.
Everyone just found different ways to do that, and we're like, I'm not playing these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Soul Blast 2, guard normally.
Yeah.
I think like
Even-
OTT could get away, or not OTT, Genesis could get away with playing it. That was it.
Didn't they
And,
have
like-
one where it was like they all go into Soul after or something? Or...
Yeah, I think they had a quintet wall like that.
Or they
and
had like a
then-
combo to do that or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, and then like this card specifically because it's Grand Blue.
Yeah, load up your drop zone.
Oh.
And this one still
So
sucks.
you might have to end up using cards in your hand anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
The only
only
time-
what 2s and belows have shield, right?
All right, he's
So
getting
the
it.
only reason like, Reef Banshee is good just because you could like mill a bunch of cards. Because after you guarded the cards, they go to the graveyard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Let me
Yeah,
see
the
how many
Counterblast
we've
wasn't too much
gone
fun.
through so far. 7. So I've got 3 out of 7 so far. Number 8.
Random
Grade
Trick
0,
Star.
so you can start with this one.
Another. This one's just another bait.
Oh yeah, it has
Yeah,
to be.
I feel like some of these are just like a lot of these Vanguard cards are like contextually necessary.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like this card's not amazing, but it's like necessary to enable other cards. So
Yeah, like-
you're
Yeah. I don't know if she ever explains this particularly well, but the mechanic of this deck is that this card evolves into bigger monsters, so you have to play it as a starter card to enable all of your bigger, better cards, but this card in and of itself is not particularly good.
You could.
Continuous rearguard effect. This unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. That's it.
Remember, they're all really short effects.
No, I mean like that's all it does. It just can't be targeted.
Yep, can't be targeted.
And it's a grade 0. What does that matter? That's useless. This is a garbage card.
So, hold on. I need to take a drink of water because this is going to be pretty interesting.
Okay.
This card
I gotta gear up.
is good, but not on its own. So this card is, by design, meant to be very deceptively good. Because what you do is you basically come up with a bunch of cards that work when you play them on top of him to basically get really powerful effects. like a pot of greed on legs, a field wipe, etc. So he
Buff it
himself
up.
is not good. However,
The pot of greed on legs is never leaving the deck.
That card's so good.
I know.
In
right?
fact, I feel behind if I don't draw it.
Yeah, you pretty much are.
You don't draw it, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no way to like search specific overdress units yet. Is
No,
there?
just Virina.
Yeah, just Virina, and then there's like a top 7 searcher that you probably don't even play because there's no space.
however, he's really good when you put him with other cards.
Is target immunity not like common in?
It doesn't
Remember?
matter.
I mean, it used to be. Do you
Yeah, I was gonna
remember the
say.
end of G era where it's just like Link Joker,
Everything had
and then
resist,
all
yeah.
the things that counter Link Joker, and then or they printed resist on everything, and then they printed a bunch of cards that got around resist, and then Link Joker got really good, so then they randomly printed cards that got around lock, or just straight up turned your cards back up,
Nothing like that Aquaforce
Yeah.
G-Guard.
or
That
just
thing is
Dragonic Overlord the Destiny, I think it was, where you you're not choosing the card, you're choosing the circle, and
circle,
then getting
yeah.
rid of the card on top of the circle. Like, that was the most Yu-Gi-Oh! Vanguard has ever been when it
Oh.
comes to, weird, stupid rulings.
Okay, when I make the thumbnail for this episode, I'm gonna put the most Yu-Gi-Oh! Vanguard has ever been in, with the stupid red arrow. Or whatever.
And then that card is, not even in this video.
Yeah.
It's just to keep him on the board so you can save him to use him for other effects.
Oh.
He basically how Genix cards require Genix controllers specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's basically kind of like that.
Well
there's a lot of
explained.
cards that work specifically with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
You-
so
you
next
can
up we have after this first set.
Yeah.
This fucking
We're almost
card.
done with this one. So this one is Tetra Baggis. It's another grade 1. I like grade 1s. They're easy to read. Auto. When this unit is placed in the rear guard, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, counterblast 1, draw a card. Reveal
These
up
new
to
symbols are
1
just so much easier.
trigger from your hand and put it on the top of your deck. Wait,
So
what's
those,
this?
Okay, completely unrelated. I've been experimenting with Ancient Dragon builds in Premium,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them have that effect that when you check a front trigger, they get a crit. They need one of these for
They're never
swap
getting
in
it,
front
you know
of
that,
them.
right?
What?
They're never getting it, you know that,
Oh,
right?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's never gonna
I
happen.
just wanted to be sure. I just wanted to make sure that you're really aware of that.
It needs to be a thing, but it's never gonna be a thing.
Instead, you just play 12 fronts and cry, or 10 fronts or something, and just be like, I would really like to hit one of these, and you don't. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's about right.
are the ones. So those are the ones that when you check them, they give an extra damage to the unit.
Oh,
And-
okay. So specific triggers that have extra criticals on it.
Correct.
Okay. Oh,
You
so
can
it allows
check
you to
it
set
later
up a
on for your
critical
deck.
trigger. Yeah, you can check it. Oh, that seems good. This is a good card.
Yeah, this card is just no two ways about it. Very good card. This card
Yeah.
was played quite a bit, and I'm pretty sure it's still being played because it just recently got reprinted. Yeah, you would also use it to stack for cards that the deer that we covered earlier on that searches for crits.
People even still use the
Yeah.
freaking deer
And
anymore.
then
Thing's so
Basically,
expensive
this
and
whole deck
slow.
revolves around scrying the top card of
I
your
don't-
deck and fucking with it.
Okay, so this one was correct.
Good job.
Do,
It's
do, do.
a net
They were still
control
playing
that
the deer
allows
as
you
far
to
as
take advantage.
Tsukiyomi, but
Oh, Grozny! I can't
Okay.
believe they
you're
have
the only
Grozny.
person to play this card.
I'm the only person who I made it work for what it was.
So next up, we have Knight of Brawn, Grosney. Okay, so he's a grade 2, auto, G-Blast 1.
Generation break.
Oh, Generation Break. Okay. His abilities
Come on, man. There's reminder text right there.
active if you have one or more face-up G units in your
Vanguard.
Vanguard or G zone.
So those are the extra deck cards.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
so if
every
you
other
have an
B
extra
has been
card in
blast.
your Vanguard
Yeah.
zone, you can activate this.
That's
And
true.
this one in particular is very close to
That's
the
not too hard to
new.
activate. When your other
skill
units
symbols.
with grade less than this card is placed in the rear guard, this unit gets plus 3,000 attack until the end of the turn. So another unit with a grade less than this card is placed in the rear guard, so ones or zeros. It gets plus 3,000 attack, and you need to have G Blast. It's 9,000 attack for a tier 2. A grade 2. This doesn't seem very good. He just gains attack. And only when
Yeah.
you place one grades.
Yeah, all he does is get attack. Unfortunately, you are incorrect. He gets a load of attack because it's not once per turn. if you call like 3 units at
Oh,
once.
I wasn't even
you'll get
thinking
the
about
one.
how you could combo to get high.
Yeah, so
I just
you
thought,
pair this
there's
card.
only like 3 other zones you could put it in. That's not too much.
So yeah, basically,
Yeah,
you
but you
pair
can
this
just
card
call
with,
over on the same one
Lure,
over and
which
over
is
again.
a deck that
That's
just summons
true.
a shitload of grade 1s and use them as
Uh-huh.
fodder. And then you'd also use it with the extra deck Morfessa, which basically gave him a crit and the like a floodgate on what your opponent can guard with.
You played this before the
And
card,
basically, he's like free damage.
before any of this stuff.
Oh, you are absolutely correct.
Like,
The Luar TD just came out. I made a point of using the common Luars instead of the
you played this
shiny one.
over Morfessa, I believe.
What do you
Because
mean?
Morfessa was like too expensive at the
You didn't want to
time.
buy a Morfessa.
That's right, I didn't. So the idea was you use Luard's effects to call, it would be calling 2 grade 2s. He gets power. You keep doing that over and over, and then you ran like stands. So like Cursed Eye Raven and the guy that counts as 2 when you kill it and goes back in deck. So it kind of reminded me of the Leopold reverse thing, where it's just like huge side columns.
Leopold Reverse was a sick card.
That was a fun deck, yeah.
I kind of love that deck.
Yeah, it's a good time.
This card hits for stupidly high numbers, like in like the 50,000s.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just thinking to like play normally. It's like, oh yeah, combos exist. Okay, that was a big mistake on my part. Yeah, Grenmagio, but different.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, next up we have Forgetful Gear Fox.
Forthoughtful
Gear Fox. Oh, that's way different from what I
He
said.
got it. He corrected himself.
Let's see. Auto, Rearguard, or Vanguard. When this unit attacks until the end of the battle, your opponent cannot call grade 0 cards from the hand to the G zone.
And remember, these heroes have the highest amount of shields, like in 10s, 15,000s.
Oh. So that seems pretty good. However, it's just a grade 1, so it's only going to be useful in like the early game. Is there like some... Well, I'm not going to ask you that. What I'm going to... I'll give you my consensus first. So, this doesn't seem very good on its own because it's protection on a low-grade monster. However, if you can combo this, it probably has lots of potential because it allows you to shut down your opponent's shields. So I'm going to say this card is probably okay, not very good.
This card... People have been trying to make this card good for a long time. It just doesn't work out.
Why?
Because the amount of effort you have to do to give him enough power to make the guard restrict worth it, it's just...
When you say why, do you mean
Like, why
are
bother
they-
make? Why try to make this card work?
Because
I don't know.
it has the Silent Tom skill, you know.
Just play Silent Tom.
Yeah, but this is Gear Chronicle, and they just really wanted it to work in Gear Chronicle.
I guess the idea is that you could put force markers under it to make it. But
Yeah,
who
but what-
cares?
It's a
In
6K
GW
grade
in
what?
GW
It doesn't
GW4?
even give the ability when it boosts.
Mhm.
God, this card.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card is not good. We've tried to make it good, but it just isn't it.
Next
I-
up,
I
we
know
have
that feeling
Mewwill
so
Star
well.
Vader Zinc, Link Joker.
Yeah.
Activatable
Oh,
on the
no.
rear guard. Put this unit into your soul. Wait, what?
So,
So
this
you
goes
could-
from rear guard circle into soul, so it's a neg one.
If you have a Vanguard with Chaos in its card name, and your opponent has a locked card, something I don't know about,
You're countercharged.
into... What does that mean?
That unflips 2 face down damage.
From yours?
Yeah, yours. So if
Isn't
you've
that really
already
good?
if you've paid for 2 catabasts worth of cost, this card refreshes them.
And then all you do is detach to, and it also attaches itself.
This soul charges 2.
It adds...
Yes, 2
Two
from
from
the
the
top
deck?
of your deck to your soul.
That seems really good. What's the catch to this? If you have a
Uh,
Vanguard with Chaos in its card name...
What's the catch? Chaos gets really, really good, and then they have to hit this, and then it makes me happy because they hit it.
The catch is it's banned.
Yeah, but like, yeah, the catch is that. But like, Chaos isn't even good right now. I think even before the ban list, no one was thinking about Chaos.
No, people were thinking about Chaos, but
Oh.
I mean,
The Chaos players were thinking about
Yeah,
it.
people were thinking. No one was thinking about Chaos competitively though. It was all like New Dio and Genesis loops,
Mhm.
and then like even
but
after,
then, well, everyone assumed. Well, the assumption was Due was getting banned, right?
yeah.
So
and
like
then-
people were thinking about not that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
they were
then,
thinking like what's going to happen after.
yeah, but
They're
then
like,
even then, we're still getting like Luard and everything else now. I don't think Chaos was like at the forefront of anyone's mind, especially because they banned this card.
When your
I don't-
opponent has a locked card. What's a locked card?
Locked cards are like the face down cards. They're like the whole mechanic of Link Jokers, turning your opponent's face down into making their zones worthless.
Oh, okay. So I guess you would combo up with that. And then it just recurs resources like crazy. This seems really good.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, this card's not only good, it's banned.
Yeah.
I will say,
I
it's
could
one of
see
the
that.
least powerful banned cards. I'm pretty sure the reason they banned it is because if they didn't, Chaos would have just been the best deck after they nuked the format.
Debatable.
There is a preemptive measure, but yeah, this card's still fucking crazy. The fact that you could play it at 4 and you just never ran out of resources. It was basically like Eldritch, where you couldn't outgrind them. You had to kill them quickly.
Oh. Okay, so that's the end of this video. In the actual stream, I go over about 30 cards. So if you
so that's it.
Yeah.
Well, rip.
30 cards. Are there any others that like you didn't cover that you think were?
She did bring up, I think it was Nightcrow, the grade 1/7 dude.
That's a good one.
That is honestly, like, that particular section is what got me thinking about doing, like, a history of Vanguard, talking about, like, 7Cs in particular, because she did not explain why 7Cs were good at all.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I also had, like, I started this article for Commander Jaime's blog, and then I realized it might be good as a video. But it's like different denial griffins, like different clans that can do that, so might do that someday, but
yeah, just when she was talking about Nightcrow, she was talking about in the context of like 7Cs being like a dumb aggro deck that summoned a bunch of small dudes to rush with, but left out the very crucial context that the deck was designed to grade lock you and prevent you from striding.
So
yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this. Matt, what did you think of the whole thing?
I don't know. Some of them felt like bait, but
totally.
That's gonna happen no matter what card game you pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can't possibly know like cards are not good necessarily in a vacuum. They're good in like context of like the cards around them.
Yeah. I mean, some cards are definitely good in a vacuum. Like, you just look at it like, yeah, this is ridiculous, regardless.
Yeah. I mean, domain is domain is good, like, even if you just assume that, your deck's full of vanillas and 4 in domain.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this unit just, like, populates your board. It seems pretty good. But, like, without the context of, like, Shadow Paladin cares about, like, retiring other unit, like, your rear guards to get effects or whatever is, like, hard to make judgments.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's possible that there should have been some explanation of what certain clans care about.
Yeah, I think that in general, I think this was lacking in that. Although that might have been like too much context, especially because
that's a lot. No, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something that's easier to do in like Magic, where you can just kind of read a card.
Yeah,
and then like you can usually figure out pretty closely. But Vanguard's a weirder game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I will say that to TheDuelLogs, if you're watching this, thank you for, earnestly trying. And we would love you if you would come on the show, or even Tangents, which is our bonus show for patrons where we just kind of talk about nothing. Patreon.com/Nexus at Night. Thank you to Darren, Cole, Josh, Jeremy, and Mewwill.
Oh yeah, that sweet segue into the Patreon plug.
Oh, come on. That was smooth. And then at Nexus at Night on Twitter. Where can they find the rest of us?
You can find me on Twitter at Wiggums, 2Gs, 2Zs.
You can find me at Plasma Eclipse.
Find me at Atlas Novak, or my other podcast at Generation Dan. All that stuff is also in the description if you want to go follow a link or something. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.